as you can see, it is actually the morning. It's roughly 9 o'clock and we're on our way to the Blue Ridge Parkway. On Instagram yesterday, they said that the visitor center that we have left in North Carolina is open to get our last stamp in North Carolina. And a large section of the area that we haven't done is open. Only thing that'll be left is roughly, I think, 14 miles, and that's at the very end. So we'll have to get those last 14 miles on another trip. But that's the plan for today, is to drive the roughly, I think Andrew looked at like 60 miles on the Blue Ridge Parkway today. So it should have some great views of the trees, especially with them changing colors. And I don't know what else we're going to see. A couple of weeks ago, you remember we were already here. Well, we have made it back here, and our plan is to start from here and start going south till basically we are told that the road is closed. So, like I said, it's about 60, maybe 65 miles we can go. So it actually might be a full day. So let's get started now. So today it's mostly going to be the landscapes around us. There's not too many things. Well, actually, let's rephrase it. There's nothing between us and the visitor center we're going to, unless there's some overlooks and just like seeing the landscapes and everything. But we're probably going to be still taking some video and everything. But Andrew just reminded me that we're actually going through the section of the parkway where it is at its highest, which was how much did you say?
5,000 something feet.
Yeah, so a little over 5,000 feet. So we are at least going to get in that today, the highest portion of the Blue Ridge Parkway. All right, we are here at the French Broad River overlook. Can't really see the river because all the trees have grown up, but this is actually where we started. Our campsite at Lake Powhatan is just off of the French Broad River. So now that we're back to here, got about 50 miles left because it's about 10 miles to the visitor center, so doesn't matter. We're still going to go for a good drive. Here's a view of Walnut Cove from the parkway, and you actually got a couple houses out there being built on top that are really nice. First tunnel of the day. Man, I love the rock work that they do. Oh, this is actually a decently long one. I don't see the light in it.
Oh, it's coming.
It's coming. It's coming. Wow. That was actually a really long one. I love those tunnels. I can't help it.
Tunnels and roundabouts, right?
Yep, tunnels and roundabouts.
This should have been our channel name.
And here is the view from Chestnut Cove. I love the fog right up there along the mountain ridge. And over here on the left, you can see those little smoke pillowing up. That is actually from the Asheville fossil plant that Duke Energy owns, that I know that a lot of guys I've worked with have worked there. I just read the sign and I already forgot what this overlook is called. But still,
What? Butane canister overlook.
Oh yeah, it's called butane canister overlook because if you look over here, I'm gonna zoom in. Someone's just left their butane canister sitting here on the sidewalk. Come on, people. We're at Beaver Dam Gap overlook, and I love the smoke over the mountains. It's something that I don't know how to describe. I just love it. We're at Big Ridge Overlook, and this is why we stopped. This is proof that the color change is happening, and this is one of the best examples. And here in just a couple more weeks, it's all going to be like that. This overlook is a perfect example of something that me and Andrew's been talking about. When this parkway was built back in the 1930s, this probably was a wonderful look at the valley. This is Hominy Valley, but with all the trees growing up and everything, it's just not exactly what it was back in the 1930s. A lot of the best shots of the parkway and everything off of it is actually areas where you can't stop. You can't actually go out, look at everything around you, and it sucks a little bit. This is supposed to be one of the best scenic drives in America. I mean, that's what it's called. What's the exact words of it?
America's most scenic drive or something. Oh, favorite scenic drive or something. Drive? I don't know.
It's a nice drive, but with it mostly being just trees and everything being grown up, because they're not going to cut it down. It's not the greatest. I like the drive and everything, especially during the leaf chain. But it's like Andrew says, like especially up in Virginia, we can get other elements thrown in. You got the farmlands and everything. That's the kind of stuff we like. So it's a great drive, but for us, it's not the favorite. So right now we are at the top of Mount Pisgah. That's where this last video was taken from. Well, too many people there. I didn't want to start talking and disrupt everybody. But it's actually really cool up here. They got a picnic area, got the overlook, and it's got a couple trails that actually lead up to it that were old stone bless you, steps. So it's actually a really cool area. So we're going to keep on driving, and it had something on there for Mount Pisgah Lodge. It's 10 miles away, but we didn't know what that was, so we didn't explore that. So I'm going to turn off right here. See, we like to take the scenic drive, take our time, and some people just want to get from point A to point B as fast as possible. So there's a lot of times we just pull off to let them go on, and we take our time. So this is the Mount Pisgah Inn. Did not know this was here. It's almost like a little historic little place you can come and stay right here at Mount Pisgah. There's also a country store with a laundromat down here on the corner and a little gift shop, basically. This is cool. This is cool, and yes, I'm getting part of the car mirror in it too. Here's Andrea's favorite rocks. She loves seeing the rocks that's got the water coming out of them and just coming down the sides. And this view, wow. I made a turn and it revealed itself. And it's one of those where I could just sit here and just look at this for a while, but of course, there's nowhere to stop. As soon as I said there was nowhere to stop, about another quarter mile up, there was. This is from the funnel top. And this is just crazy. I love it. So looking out this way, you can see that the color change is in full effect. A nice scenery. But the reason why I stopped is this. I love seeing the rocks. And actually, somewhere in here, right over here, there's actually still a trickle of water coming down it. So we can hear it. That was the graveyard fields. By the information on there, it said approximately between 500 and 1,000 years ago, a large wind came through here and uprooted all the trees, and they were laid over like it was a graveyard. So this whole valley was basically bare with just trees just laid over. Trees started growing back, and then in the 1926, a huge fire came through here in the same area and killed everything, all the trees, and turned into a barren area again. And it's taken so much time because the nutrients and everything were burned out in the fire for it to start regrowing again. So that area is just, it's lacking the coverage and everything, and actually the size like you would see for the rest of the park. And it's just at those times when the trees were laid over, it just looked like a graveyard, so it was named the Graveyard Fields. But down there you also see a small river trek which led to a waterfall which we saw from the road that was amazing to look at. And we looked at it. There's a trail to get to it, but so many people there would be afraid to take the babies. I don't even know if we could take them on that trail either.
Flip-flops on.
Yeah, I got flip-flops on, so probably not a good idea to do that trail.
We weren't planning on hiking today.
No. Not sure how well it's going to actually come out in the video, but that is the Devil's Courthouse. Not sure why it's called that, but that is what it is called. We're nearing the top of the Blue Ridge Parkway, and this is the Cowie Mountain overlook. Yep, another nice scene. And as you can see, we have made it to the highest point on the parkway, 6,053 feet. And the view looking out. Hey, there's King Candy. You can look at this map and see some of the things that's here, and definitely the view and seeing the parkway just below us is really awesome. We just left the Water Rock Visitor Center, and that actually is the last stamp we needed to finish the North Carolina section of the Blue Ridge Parkway. So that's nice. Sad part is that actually fills up our entire southeast section. So basically the Blue Ridge Parkway and the couple places we've been to finished up our whole section of that book, so we'll have to look for the companion book for additional southeast section pages. So got a lot of stamps in there, and that's nice to have, but so I guess it's a good problem to have. Also, while I was talking to the guy in the visitor center, found out that yesterday at 4 p.m. they opened up the bottom section of the Blue Ridge Parkway. So we're driving back into Cherokee to go to the Oconee Lufty Visitor Center and finish up the parkway from North Carolina. So we are going to finish it today. So that's going to be a nice completion to our trip. Remember a couple days ago whenever we were trying to go to Cherokee and we had to go four-wheeling with King Candy? That's where it came out. And, let's go ahead. That way leads to a campground. That way leads to somewhere. And this way leads to the parkway. This is how close we were to the parkway.
And these gates were closed.
And these gates were closed. So we drove for almost an hour on that dirt road all the way up this hill to get to nowhere, and had to turn around and go back.
But now we know where it was going to lead us.
That is true. Crossing this bridge, this is the Oconee
Lufty
River and the end of the Blue Ridge Parkway. Oh, we figured there would be a sign or something, but there's not. So now we're going to go back to the Oconee Lufty Visitor Center, take us a break, give the girls a little walk, give them a little bit of time to get out of the car, because the other day when we was up here, they stayed in the car for way too long. So give them a break and we'll figure out where we're going to go for lunch and start heading back to the campground. Our campsite for the weekend is a pull-through, and actually one of the larger sites here at Lake Powhatan. We have a cement picnic table, a fire ring, our chairs are here, got a rug out, and there's Luxo, got King Candy and the big rolling turd. We decided to do boondocking this week, so the campsite here has no hookups, but that's just because we chose to. There are other sites here that do have hookups, so check them out whenever you do your reservation. Yeah, you see somebody waving. We're back here at the campground. We finished up the parkway. We got us some lunch actually in Cherokee. We had some buffalo burgers actually. So back here to relax for a couple hours. I'm actually having to leave here tonight, which is not fair. And head to my sister's for work for this coming week. So Andrew gets to travel home tomorrow in the camper. So, but basically, like I said, next couple hours is going to be relaxing. So thanks for watching, and thanks for joining us.